Welcome, Vanessa.
I
I
am.
don't, I don't think you've been on my podcast before, have you?
No,
On
no, this is
any?
like, yeah, the first
Yeah, this is
time.
the first one. Yeah. All right, let's start off. Let's start off with like a game, a little icebreaker.
Okay.
All right,
All
let's
right.
do desert island movies. So you're stuck on the
Okay.
desert. You can only bring three movies or three movie franchises.
Okay. All right.
Go.
So three specific movies can be any
Yeah,
movie.
yeah.
Okay. I feel like, have you ever watched, okay, this is like a really old film thing, but it's The Naked Gun. Have you heard of Leslie Nielsen?
No, I have not.
So he's like a comedic actor, and like he does all these like films like Aeroplane and Naked Gun, but that it's like about the police academy, that the American program like back in the day,
Mm.
and it's like comedic. It's really funny though. Like I just find it hilarious. That's like
Oh,
my fave.
is he like a physical comedian, kind of like Charlie Chaplin or
No,
Mr.
no, he's
Bean?
like no, he's very like, I'd say it's like cheesy comedy. It's like quite like there's like scenes like it's just very like what it is. So there'll be scenes where he's like he's gone to the toilet and he's left his microphone on, and I find that really funny. But
Right.
then it's almost like Mr. Bean-esque, but not really. It's
Yeah,
just
it's
like,
it sounds Mr. Bean-esque.
but it's like it's just really it's hilarious. If you ever watch it, like you'll get what I mean. But
Mm.
it's hard to explain exactly what it's like. But yeah, I just find that
Okay,
stuff really
cool,
funny.
cool. Second movie?
Or I don't know. I quite like oh, A Bug's Life. Have you ever watched that?
I haven't seen that movie since like back in like probably year
The
seven or year eight.
90s. No,
Okay.
it's great. Like it honestly is like my fave. Like I mean,
Uh,
I watched it the other day. I hadn't watched it in like 10 years, and I watched it like 3 days ago, and I was like, it's just so it's like you get it, and there's like adult comedy bits in like these movies that you don't get until you're older, and you're like, oh, that's quite
yeah.
funny.
Yeah,
But it's just
Disney
one of those,
Disney does that a lot as well. I've noticed that as well.
yeah,
All
I
right, third
know. Like
third
in Toy
movie.
Story.
Yeah, like
Sorry.
yeah.
So such a weird example of a movie. Um Maybe Marley and Me, but that's
Uh
just like because I like animals. It's
like
such like like sad movie, but sad movies are good sometimes. If it's like
uh,
gives you a good cry.
I guess so. I always got annoyed at my sisters whenever they put on a sad movie because then I'd get
Like
like let's put on something funny. Let's put on something funny next or something. Okay, all right. For me, I'm glad you mentioned Toy Story because yeah, I would bring Toy
put that
Story
as your
to
fave.
the island. Yes,
Yeah.
the first and second one probably. Then I would bring Fight Club, just because it's I like movies with a
That's
twist.
is that the one with Brad Pitt?
Yeah, that's one with Brad Pitt and Edward Norton.
But like the only thing I've heard is like the rule of Fight Club is you don't talk about Fight Club, but I have no idea what they're talking about because
Because you don't talk about Fight Club. That's why. That's the rule.
is it cage fighting or something? What are they doing?
It's basically street fighting for like Lost Boys. Well, I would say, yeah, kind of like Lost Boys, because like it's like for people who are basically tired of living in society. That's like how do I say this? Like they feel kind of purposeless and they wanna basically just join something that can bring meaning to their boring mundane life. Like people are like, oh yeah, let me go buy an Audi, no, IKEA set or something. Like I think it's a fight against consumerism culture.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And also just like kind of stepping outside of that and trying to like go back during like a time when men could be men instead of, all these like slim supermodels on TV that they show. So it's kind of like,
Right.
yeah, it's kind of like that, kind of just like stepping outside of the matrix of the current modern society.
Right. I get
That
you.
makes sense. Yeah.
It's like it's more about how you can fight than anything. It's not like about looks or.
I suppose you can
Really?
say it that way. I think
Yeah.
people say the book is much better, which I have not read. It's based on a novel, but I haven't really read the novel, so I
Yeah.
wouldn't really know.
Mhm.
So I'll just bring that, and then my third one would be Cloud Atlas. It's like,
Okay.
yeah, it's more of a, I think it's a cerebral movie, but it kind of goes into like karma, like the whole reincarnation and karma, and how people are connected and all that.
Okay, that's quite cool. I've never heard. Oh, I've heard the name Cloud Atlas, but I
Yeah.
don't. I never knew what it was about. So it's kind of like. Is it like Buddhism almost?
Yeah, Buddhism, Hinduism as well.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that as well. So those would be my three. That's
They're
cool.
so different, aren't they? Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Of course, like
different,
if I'm gonna be stuck on an island, I want to have like at least some variety. You know what I mean?
yeah, they're not like it's like Fight Club. Then you've got Toy Story, Cloud Atlas. It's like one for when you're like angry, one for when you're like, I just want to have like
Happy.
a funny time.
Yeah.
One just when you want to think about your life.
All right. Okay. Let's go into the topic for this podcast. So which conspiracy theories do you believe in?
So from the ones I watched on there,
Yeah, or on the top 10 module list. Yeah.
So I don't believe in, like, to be honest, none of them really. Like, I kind of thought, like, the whole thing where they thought Hitler was still alive in Argentina or something. I was like, yeah, but he was so like sought after. You'd think they have got the right guy when they found him. Like, they wouldn't make that mistake. It was like he was really like hated. Like, if you found the guy, you wouldn't be like, oh, I'm just gonna like. It's going to be a lookalike, someone who looks so alike to Adolf Hitler that they're going to think it's him. And then his wife also died. So I don't know how they can explain that, really.
Well, the official story is that he killed himself, right? Like, he committed suicide, right? Yeah. But people are saying, he's... I don't know. Like, yeah, I think I take the same position as you. Like, for someone with he's such a high profile character worldwide. Like, a war was basically started by this guy. So, of course, you'd want him to, like, be found or be arrested or whatever, you know?
Well, he definitely, if you found him, it was the British that would have found him, or like another country that was supporting us, but you wouldn't make that mistake. Come on. And then for people in Argentina to be like, yeah, we found him, and like he was, and we couldn't say because we'd lose our jobs. It's like, but he doesn't have that much power. How would you lose your job? Like, he's literally like wanted. You could just say to the police, be like, oh, he's here, and they take him away. Like,
exactly. Yeah, that one's definitely on the ridiculous side. It's like people saying Tupac or Biggie are like still alive and they're like chilling in Cuba and they're sipping martinis and all that. Have you heard of that?
No, but I don't know. Didn't he die like in a drive-by shooting or something like that?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know how he'd still be alive unless they think they've seen him, like someone that looks like him.
Yeah.
Because it's probably, maybe that's what happened. Maybe there was someone that looked really like Adolf Hitler, and he said he was Adolf Hitler, but he wasn't, and he convinced people because you might want to be known as that, someone else, if they were like wanted to be notorious or whatever. They'd be like, "Oh, I'm Adolf Hitler," but it's
Yeah,
not
but
someone you want
why
to be.
Adolf Hitler
Yeah.
though? Of all people, why would you want to be known as?
Well, maybe. Well, you wouldn't want to be known. Like, he's not a good guy to be like, "Oh, that's who I'm known as."
Yeah.
But maybe he just looked really alike. Maybe he had already the mustache and he had the look, and he was just like, "That's someone I look like." But it's very, all these conspiracies are so like out there, like they're very bizarre.
Yeah, that's
To
why
be fair
they're
though, I'd
called
probably be
conspiracy
convinced that,
theories.
yeah, if someone said to me, I'm Adolf Hitler," and they look like him, I'd probably be like, "Oh, maybe he is." Like, maybe he could convince me. I don't know, but like.
Yeah, but what do you do? What do you do in that moment? So you somehow you are convinced that he is Hitler. What do you do? Do you
I
like,
don't know, like,
all right, mate, have a good day?
I'd be like,
Like
"I
punch
don't
him in
really
the
want to be
balls and
near you."
call the police? Or...
Punch him in the face, take
Yeah.
him, yeah. Probably just like, obviously I wouldn't like him. Slap him and be like, done. And hopefully I'd say to the police, but I don't know what I'd actually do. That'd be such a weird scenario.
You would. Okay, all right. Let's go to another one. Which other ones? Wait, so you don't believe in any conspiracy theory then?
No, like
No.
you'd have to really like have some evidence, like solid evidence. Like I'm quite, because I did science and stuff, like I'm quite like, if you don't have the evidence for it, I'm not really gonna believe it. It has to be like proper factual.
Wait, okay, so you see, I'm afraid we might not even cover most of the conspiracy theories, but I wasn't even planning on doing that anyways. But what about like, what would you say is like the difference between people who believe in conspiracy theories and people who have like religious beliefs?
So this might be quite controversial. I don't know. I feel like I don't want to like offend anybody. Obviously, like that's not my
just
thing.
you don't have to mention any specific denominations or whatnot.
I guess like conspiracy theories, they're all different. Like it's hard to like be like, oh, they're all the same. Like I can just make it a whole group and compare it to religion, because like some are like, oh, global warming's not happening, which is like maybe it's not happening at the rate they're saying, whatever. There's like different factors to it, so I don't know.
Yeah,
but then religion, I think, go on,
finish your thought.
Religion's quite a nice thing to have though, isn't it? Like it's just a nice like thing to base your life off of. I don't think it's necessarily bad. I think if you want to believe in something and it makes you feel better, then you should believe in it, even if it's like a conspiracy theory and you believe in like a specific fact, or something's real and something's not real, or something happened in your mind. Like people who believe the earth is flat instead of spherical. Like if you want to believe that, like nobody can stop you believing that. Like that's free will and that sort of thing. It's not about banning people, but they are completely. It's hard to compare religion to like a conspiracy, because in my mind they're not super similar. That because like it's obviously a religion is like a thing you believe in, and you have all these like commandments or some religions, and you like believe in that. And then like conspiracy is kind of like a theory about what you think's happening, or what you believe is happening, that you're trying to convince others of. But religion, like I guess people already, like if you're with the people who are supporting that religion, you're already with those people that believe in it.
Yeah.
And most people with religion, like a religion, don't try and convince other people to come into that religion, like actively. Like it's just a sort of, if you find it. I guess it depends on the religion as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say it depends on the religion, because a lot of people are like what's the word? Evangelists. So they try to like spread the word of whatever that religion is.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it. That's actually a good point. Because it's just weird, because I was thinking like about this, like what makes them similar. So like the similarities. So for example, like, okay,
I mean,
like say like they're both trying to understand how they know something, right? Like how do you know like the government is telling you the truth about something versus how do you know say, I don't know, how do you know how the world was created, for example, right? So I
yeah,
think,
yeah.
yeah, so they have those like similar themes. They're definitely not the same. That's for sure. Also, like
Well, it's similar.
they've got like a social aspect to it as well. So
Yeah,
religion is good because like you get that community feeling. You have like that people who believe in the same thing you do. So you're like, yeah, we're all in this together. And then with conspiracy
yeah,
theories, you have like especially now, like of course you go online, you can find a community for whatever conspiracy that you believe in. You know, the earth is flat. There's a community for that. And you know, I should ask you, like, yeah,
true.
like there's a community for that. There's also a community for people who believe, what's his name, David Icke.
David
Yes,
Icke. His
disgusting.
is like, wasn't it about the government being lizards or something like that? Is that David Icke?
Yeah, yeah.
That sort of sense, but as in it's like a group thing. They all believe in the same thing, and it's quite nice because they have other people that believe with them. Like both of them share that, but I feel like religion's less. Most religions, I won't say all of them, but from my experience, are less about convincing than conspiracy. Conspiracy is a lot about you want to add more people to your group because it's like there's less in a conspiracy group generally, I'd say, than in religions because religions are like worldwide. So, in my knowledge of it, I might be wrong, but there might be some conspiracies that are like bigger. But in my
Um,
experience,
okay, so I'm just trying to catch my train of thought again. Yeah, so I was saying like those are the similarities that I see, even though like they're both like you just said. One second, let me see. Yeah, like you just said, they both have different motivations. So like the conspiracies are trying to fight against some authority, which is like the general narrative or like the government and whatever story or narrative that they've put forward. So they can say, oh yeah, we
yeah,
did, like here's a video of us landing on the moon, and then people are like, hey, that's fake, like that's this and that, whatever.
yeah,
Or like the earth is flat, and NASA, like this big authority on, what is it, what's the field, like whatever, space stuff is the scientific term.
I know what you mean. Because
Yeah,
there's astrology and astronomy. Astronomy
astronomy.
space.
Yeah,
Astrology.
astronomy. Yeah,
Yeah, astrology is the other
yeah.
one. Like, yeah,
It's the phrenology version of psychology, basically.
yeah,
So um,
yeah.
so you're definitely right. Like they are both different. Yeah, they're both different, and I think that those were the only things I could find that were similar. Like, oh yeah, they're both trying to understand what's going on in the world, and they both have a social factor as well. There's also like like
Yeah.
uh like an
I mean,
existential thing about it. Does that make
mm,
sense? Like an existential thing
like
about,
it's like outward,
yeah, like
like
the
it's. I don't know. I feel like yeah, they're quite big in their thoughts and they're quite like extreme sometimes
mm,
as well. But like at the same time, like I feel like in religions you believe you don't need proof that something is, is out there. But I feel like with
Right, because it's
conspiracies,
based
you need more
on
proof. Do you know what I mean?
it's based on having a belief, right? Yeah. So you don't need proof.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, not belief, faith instead of having
Faith.
proof.
Like you just,
Yeah.
it's not that you need to like. It's like when you're younger and you believe in like the tooth fairy or whatever. Sorry if any kids are listening. Just ruined it for them. But you believe in
Yeah.
you believe in that, and then it's like, oh yeah, you just believe because someone tells you. It's not like you have to have any facts behind it or like any
Right.
proof. It's like you just believe because you want to believe.
Right.
At the same time, like there's no um and like I'm not saying that I'm comparing people who follow religion to kids, because like there's some religions that I quite like, and I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that you can believe something without having proof, because sometimes it's like beyond that. It's just like you just want to have a group and like values and things like that, which are quite nice to just belong to. And it might be the same with conspiracy as well. Maybe people want to belong to a group too, and they also have this, like that's the same with anything though. Like if you have friends, like you have the same belief system as your friends generally, you have like the same like sort of outlook. So it's just like belonging at the end of the day as well, I think, with both.
Yeah. I think that's the. I mean, I'm not saying you're making this argument, but that's one argument I've heard atheists use
I mean, I'm not an
against
atheist. I would,
religious. And
yeah, I wouldn't
sorry,
call myself that.
what are you, by the way? What would you call
Um,
yourself?
I'm not. I'm not sure. That's the thing. I'm not saying I completely am against. I've kind of come to the point where I'm like, I'm not sure, but I feel like some qualities of some religions, it's kind of like that I've looked into. They're quite nice, and like there's something quite nice about
Ah,
praying, because it's almost like meditation, if that makes sense. It's almost like
yes,
that, but
that makes complete
yeah,
sense to me. Yeah. So you
yeah, yeah.
sound a bit agnostic.
Yes, yeah, a little bit. I'm not 100% sure what
Yeah.
I kind of believe in, like 100%. I'm just not sure. Like as with anything right now, I feel like I'm not sure about anything in my life. Religion is one of them. It's just like I have no idea.
Yeah.
There's just so many questions about everything. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's just weird. But you do you believe? Do you not
Am I
believe?
a
Do you not
believer? Am I not a believer?
believe
Um,
that?
well, whenever people ask me that question, I usually say I was raised a Christian, but I'm not religious. And some people understand that,
Yeah.
some people don't. So I can appreciate the spiritual aspects of Christianity. So a lot of the stuff that Jesus was talking about. Um,
Mm.
I just don't believe that I need to be. Um, I don't believe in like going to church, even though I understand the usefulness of that. I understand why people uh, not necessarily need to go, but I understand like why church is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
But like I say, like you're not gonna find God inside of a building. Like, God is inside you and he's outside of everywhere that you go. That's the kind of
So you
stance
don't
that I take.
necessarily
So
you
I'm
don't believe in like the sort of material aspect or buildings or anything like that. You kind of just believe like it's like just a spiritual thing. So it can be anywhere really. It's not limited to like a space, or like if you have certain traits or anything, you could just be a believer regardless, I guess. If I just gone a
yes,
little bit of a step further,
like somewhere,
like
yes.
regardless of you.
Like, yeah, like somewhere along those lines. And it's also just like I don't believe in like
Yeah.
the dogma side of it. So I believe in the religious side of it, but not sorry, let me backpedal. I believe in the spiritual side of it, but I don't believe in the dogmatic part of it. Does that make sense?
What does dogmatic mean?
So stuff like, oh yeah, you have to be baptized in order to go to heaven. You have
So
to
okay,
and that, you know what I mean? So stuff like that, I don't
okay.
really
It's
subscribe
like
to.
you want it to be more inclusive of people. Like it's less about if you have all these things set down. It's more about who you are, what you live by,
Yeah, like your
that sort of
morals
thing.
as a person, your
Basic.
values, the way you treat others. Because like something that really annoys me about most Christians is that there'll be Christians on Sunday, but come Monday to Friday, they're like, oh yeah, you know what, the Muslims
Okay.
are this, they're terrorists, or oh yeah, all these people in the UK or America, you know, they're what's this, the drug taking fornicators and all that. So like they're very judgmental, but when it comes on Sunday, they're like, oh yes, you know, praise the Lord, praise Jesus, this and that. I'm holy. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So it's
You
that
don't
kind
like
of
the
thing.
judgment aspect. You don't like the judgment, or like you prefer if like all religions were inclusive. Like
I mean,
it was just more.
I don't like. It's not about what I want other religions to be. I just think everyone should have some moral standard that's kind of humanist instead of, you know,
Yeah.
exclusionary, if that makes sense.
So like helping other people, just like a community sort of thing. Like
Yes,
you,
yes.
it's more about how you are just supporting each other,
Yeah, which
less
is
about like religions. Yeah,
exactly,
it's not about the religion at the end of the day. Yeah, but
not necessarily, which is like why I'm not really against religions, because like I understand the need for that.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Yeah.
like it's not. I don't think anybody. I mean, yeah, that's the same for me. I don't feel like I don't have really an opinion of, like I don't really know so much about different religions, that sort of thing. It's hard to form an opinion when you don't have all the facts. Do you know what I mean, about every single little thing? So I couldn't go into like so much detail about everything, like all religions and specificities of like religions. But
Yeah.
I get why it's a nice thing to have. There's certain aspects that are really quite nice about religions. So I get it, but I'm not sure 100% right
Like
now. I mean, it might change. I'm not going to stay the same forever, but I don't know.
like what are you not sure about? Is it like, oh yeah, you don't know, you're not sure about what happens after you die, or you're not sure whether, I don't know, like one religion is right and the other religion is wrong, or this and that?
Yeah, I guess it's like also like I feel like you're picking a religion. That's the aspect as well, and it's like I'm kind of like pigeonholed, I guess, into one. Like I don't know if I'd want to have aspects of different religions. I don't even know that if you can even do that. Like I'm very
I
like, yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah,
Sorry.
well, that's what I do, but go on,
Yeah,
I'll let you finish up your thought.
yeah. I just like that's something that would be quite nice for me anyway because I'm
Mm.
quite indecisive. I know it sounds terrible, like the whole like life decision, but like it's and people take their religion seriously. I don't want to just go into it and be like half into it at the
Mm.
same time because like, sometimes I feel like I need to like actually even if it was to different religions, I need to commit to those religions and know what I'm
Right.
in for. At the same time,
Yeah.
I don't really know. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I really admire people who are like just like 100% in, yes, I believe everything that the Quran says, everything that the Bible says. I'm like 100% in. I really admire that because like I can't do that. Like in terms of like talking about religion, like I think almost every religion has some like golden piece of information in it. A lot of them just
Mm-hmm.
say, treat others the way you want to be treated, which is like
Yeah.
dope. So I kind of consider myself like a, a spiritual, religious. I don't want to say slut because that has weird connotations, but
Yeah.
I'll just say
Just go ahead.
I'll say I'm greedy about what I
I know
consume.
what you mean though. It makes like you want to have every like all the different because there's so much good
Mm,
in all of these religions. you can't
Yeah.
pick. Like at the same time, it's hard to pick.
Exactly.
But
And I think
you can
like,
pick good things each one. Yeah.
yeah, I think it's the dogmatic aspects of it that kind of separates everyone else and kind of make this divide with people, because we're all aiming at the same thing. We're all trying to connect to, like, you know, a higher deity or deities or whatever, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? So yeah, in
Yeah,
that
it's just
aspect.
important. I wouldn't, and I'd say like it's just like almost therapy as well. At the same time, when you're praying and that sort of thing, you're kind of just getting your thoughts out, you know, of like things that you thought you could improve on, or like things that you want to happen. Sometimes, like if something bad's going on in someone else's life or your life, it's like you kind of need that sometimes in a weird way. Kind of just saying it out loud or even in your head, like it's a bit of like a meditation sort of thing, just to know what you're feeling, which I do quite a lot actually, but it's not towards any particular god. It's just like in general. So yeah, I don't know, it's weird. I don't really know where I'm at with that. It's such a big topic though. It's like hard to even cover it all. You'd have to go into like every specific detail. Like, what do you think of that specifically? But I don't know. So yeah.
What do you mean? Like,
so you know, like this, like religions have. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just asking, like, what do you mean, and like what kind of specific details?
So, you know, like religions have like different. Obviously, it's different. So, like, Catholicism has like the Ten Commandments, and you go into that, and then it has like you go in and you say, go in for your communion when you're like 11 or something like that, and it's like you become fully, and all this sort of stuff. And there's different types of Christianity, so that's one of them.
There's
It's
like
just
there's over 1,000 denominations of Christianity.
like Roman Catholic, other religions, the Church of England, like it's hard to like, and they've all got different rituals, but they all think about the same thing. So it's like whether you think, oh, do you think that ritual is like, you know, better than that ritual? It'd be like, I don't even know, like they're both kind of similar. Like I don't even know how you'd pick a specific one out of Catholicism, if you know what I mean. Like I don't, like other religions, I don't know if being like reading the Quran and that sort of thing, if there's like denominations in that, I have no idea because I've never Googled it, but I'm assuming there might be if Catholicism has the same sort of thing. So yeah, it would just be like that. You'd have to go into specifics and be like, do you think that's okay? Do you think this is okay? And I don't want to like go really, really specific because I might offend someone by being really wrong with something that I say. But I can only speak because I was brought up Roman Catholic, so I know that side of it.
So did you guys
like I don't know,
go to church and drink the blood of Jesus and eat his body?
Jesus bread,
Jesus bread. Because like you're not actually eating bread, are you? Like you're actually eating the body of Christ.
Body of Christ.
Yeah.
Blood of Christ. And you're like, and then it's like, peace be with you. You just shake rando people's hands in the church. And then it was just kind of like, you just memorize like prayers. Like I still remember them now, actually.
Really?
The Our Lady. Yeah, I can like recite one. I don't want to do it now in case I get it wrong, but I can kind of remember it. Yeah.
What was the point of that? Like, was there a specific purpose of that, or was it just to know?
So it was like, Our Lady who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
That's the Lord's Prayer,
Give us
right?
our daily bread or something like that. Yeah, the Lord's one. Yeah. But I don't know, like it's just like, it's weird. I don't really know the purpose when I was doing it. I just remember doing it because I was young at the time. But it's just very like thanks sort of thing. and like forgiveness, like forgiving yourself, forgiving others.
Yeah.
It was all about that, really. So it was like giving you good ideals and good theories, I guess,
values.
for life. Yeah, good
Yeah.
values. Like it was all about that. Like that's why you would shake people's hands. That's why you would do, that the prayer there. That was basically being like thankful and like all that sort of stuff. And when you drink the blood of Christ and the body, it was kind of like physically doing stuff to make you kind of feel it a bit more. That's all I guess that mass is when you go there, it's kind of like that's what you're doing. It's just kind of making it more physical, making it more real, and like you're with other people who are exactly the same.
Right.
And I don't think it's necessarily bad, like at all. Like it's a good routine if you want a routine in your week, like you go to church on a Sunday and it's
Yeah.
like you
Yeah.
see people that and you see other kids that and it's like, oh hi, and you have like a community. So
Yeah.
I don't know, it's one of those. And I'm not gonna lie, having a communion, you get to buy a white dress and you get to like look pretty for a day, so that's not bad
Is
if you want to
it?
do that. Yeah, it's not bad in that sense, but like obviously it's more than that. You're like kind of, and then you is it confirmation? Yeah, after that. So that's when you fully kind of get accepted. But like communion is like sort of the midpoint. So
Right.
I don't know. It's just I never confirmed, like completely went through it. But I did the communion.
Oh
But
wow.
it's weird. It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not saying yeah, it's weird. I'm just saying yeah, because that's one of the filler words that I use.
No. I'm
Uh,
saying it's weird, like the way I'm speaking about it, because it's like so much information.
yeah.
Like, oh my god.
No, but seriously, like that's one of the things that like the current situation is highlighting as well, like the need for community, because now because of the COVID lockdowns, like people aren't allowed to go to church or anything like that, you know. So it just
Yeah.
shows like what, and the thing is, yeah, when people don't have that routine, like you said, like for example, because I'm a support worker, I work with people who have autism, and they like to have a specific routine, and if you break that routine, they may break your face or just break something because it distresses them. Not all of them, but they have levels of showing their distress. But that applies to other people as well. Like we all pretty much need a routine in our lives to
Yeah.
help us manage our mental health as well. You know what I mean?
It's true. Like
Yeah.
I think like when growing up, going to church really did help me. Like not, and it's also like you see the same faces and you feel very like comfortable after a
Yeah.
while because these people, and it's
Yeah.
like sort of safe place. And it's also, if you wanted to go like during the day and like after mass or whatever and it was quiet, you could literally just sit there for like hours if you wanted to. I've
Mm.
not done that before, but if you wanted, and just sit with your own thoughts. So it is. And you hear of a lot of people who like go through sort of realizations, like they're in a bad point in their life and then they look up for God and they ask God to help them, and then eventually they turn their life around because of that. And I've had a lot of like celebrities and people who've had that experience. So it's good to have something to like kind of help you through a certain bad time in your life or whatever,
Yeah.
because yeah, life is up and down. So it's nice to have that consistency. Like you have the church like always there if you need it. So I don't know if I'd ever not go back. I don't think I'd not go back into a church. I don't know. I just haven't been in so long, but maybe I would go back into religion again. I'm not sure, because it was nice with certain aspects of it. So
Mm.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I understand what you mean. So how are you
Yeah.
coping with like the whole lockdown situation then? Since church is closed and some for me, uh gym the gym kind of regulates some of my mental health aspects as well. How are you coping
Yeah.
with the whole situation? Because you're
I
still
mean,
working, aren't you?
yeah, I'm still working in hospital, so I'm doing that, which is good because I guess I'm quite lucky in that sense because I've heard from other people who work from home and they would like to go into the office and that sort of thing. I know that they're not saying they should, but it's quite nice that I get to go in not in a sort of, it's quite a dark way, but it is quite lucky I can still go out and do certain normal stuff. It kind of
Yeah.
keeps me a little bit more safe. But at the same time, it's like at the beginning of lockdown and all this sort of stuff, it kind of like it's just been a year of it, and I feel like everybody's been affected
Mm.
in a slightly negative way, whatever, as well as like some positives. Like at the beginning, everybody was like, "Oh yeah, I get time to do this and that," but I feel like the longer it's kind of drawn out,
Yeah.
the more people are like, "I just want it to be done now."
Yeah, I
It's
just
like
want it to be
we've
over.
had our time to be. Yeah, I mean, hopefully this year, I'm like really hopeful that it will like be over.
Mm.
But in some sort of like at least a little bit better, we could do more stuff. But
Well,
it's just
they're saying with the vaccines, we're closer to having a more normal, or being back to a more normal route. What's this? A more normal living.
like,
Yeah, more normal
yeah,
life. You know what I mean? What do you think about the
yeah,
vaccines? Have you had the vaccine?
I did, yeah. And this arm, it's
Oh, right on the left hand,
and
left arm.
left arm, my
Yeah.
non-dominant arm. But I had it 2 weeks ago, and I had the Pfizer one,
Or the
and
German one.
Pfizer-BioNTech. I don't know. Pfizer, isn't that like a global one? Isn't that like American or something? Pfizer, because didn't they
Well,
have?
I mean, it's called Pfizer.
Hold on. Is it
Are you
Pfizer?
going on Google on me right now? Just believe me.
I'm googling. I can see you. Pfizer is an American
Is it?
multinational
Oh
company.
wow! I've been
Yeah,
telling people that it's a German one because it's called Pfizer. Because that it just sounded German
it
to
might
me.
be. Oh no, it's American because they've come out with like they're quite an old company. I think they've come out of
Mm.
loads of drugs since like the pharmaceuticals.
Oh man! So which
Since like
one's the German
forever.
one? Is
Kind
that
of.
the? Is it the Moderna one? That's
German COVID vaccine. I don't know. I don't think
they don't have one.
it's German. No, I don't think they have one yet.
Oh wow!
I
I've
could be
been
wrong.
like this whole time I've been giving them credit for the Pfizer vaccine. Like, oh yeah,
I don't think so.
it's called Pfizer, so it must be the Germans, But yeah, so America has that one. The Oxford one is which one's the Oxford one? Is it the Moderna one?
AstraZeneca.
AstraZeneca. Yeah, yeah.
AstraZeneca. And then
Like,
Moderna. I think is that the what is Moderna?
go on, Jeremy.
American. It's an
American.
American company based in Cambridge, Massachusetts.
Oh, right. Well, like, I guess again, that's a good thing. We have vaccines, even though people are very skeptical about taking them, which is
Yeah.
understandable because usually vaccines take a long time. But again, like you have to consider that everyone is putting in the effort to develop these vaccines. So of course that's gonna speed up the time for it.
Yeah. I feel like it's quite good, and they're saying on the news like apparently there's 140 jabs per minute,
Oh
something crazy like that. There's a lot of jabs.
yeah.
But I feel like they're rolling out for the under 70s now and like the vulnerable, but it's still going to take time, obviously. Like, and it will be weird going back to normal and going out into the world again, like
Yeah.
after all of this, is people will still be a bit hesitant, I guess. I still will be, I think. I'll be
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Like you'll still be
it's
wearing a
normal, but
mask.
I've also been, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's gonna take a while for us to get used to, or to even get back to normal. Because I think a lot of people are resistant against having the vaccines. Like I was reading, okay, I'll be honest, I didn't read, but I skimmed some articles that were saying a
Hmm.
lot of South Asian women are not taking the vaccine because of fake news. So it's like we were talking about before, like some of these conspiracy theories about the COVID causing people
Yeah.
not to trust the vaccines, and that's just gonna slow everything down.
There's always fake news though, like with
Mm,
anything. Like there's always something like on generally like on like platforms and stuff online. It's like there's things that come up that are completely not based on fact. So you have
right?
to kind of before you take a vaccine, I googled everything to do with Pfizer because I was like, I don't want to get a vaccine and then be like, oh no, I shouldn't have taken that because something's up with whatever happens here, or
Yeah,
I don't believe in
Bill
this
Gates
or
has
whatever.
put a microchip in you, and he's gonna keep track of you.
Don't
Yeah,
say that. I'm like,
but obviously, like
maybe. But
I think I'm kind of weird because I'm like, okay, fine, I'll have the chip as long as I'm not the only one who's chipped. Then we can all be chipped.
we
Let's
can
be
always go
chipped
together.
together.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can't keep track of all of us.
exactly.
There's too many people.
There's way too many of us. Uh,
Um,
but yeah, yeah.
no, I don't know. I think I've heard of a lot of other healthcare people who are scared,
Mm,
and they like tell you there's so many stories of like things going wrong with people and stuff like that. But like you hear about people fainting and that sort of thing
yeah,
more often because it's what you hear. Like you don't hear the people that's like, oh, it was fine. They took it,
yeah,
they felt fine, and that was it. Like it's you more hear like, oh yeah, my arm hurt a little bit, but with any vaccine, I'd say your arm hurts. Like I had the flu vaccine 4 months ago, and it still hurt my arm. So, because you're putting a needle there, I guess. But um, I feel like it's up to you if you want to get it. Like I would never be like, you have to get it. Like that's it.
yeah.
Like you can't not get it because it is a bit. You have to trust to get it in your arm. You have to be like,
Mm,
I'm comfortable with this. Otherwise, it's you're just gonna worry about it. So yeah,
right.
I
Uh,
felt more comfortable.
Yeah, yeah, that's cool. Like I'm the same as well. I'm not like anti or pro vaccine. I'm
Mm.
like, do your own research and then just make up your own mind.
Yeah. It's about what you want to do at the end of the day, like anything in life. It's like, if you want to do it, do it. If you don't, fine.
Yeah, because I think that this is very likely to happen, and it is probably going to happen. Like, say if they do start opening stuff up, like public services, uh, like say going to music events, they're gonna need you to either show a negative COVID test result or show that you've been vaccinated. So people,
Yeah.
yeah. So there's that aspect of it as well.
Well, I've heard of people being worried. I spoke to a lot of people about it, about taking, not taking it because they might not be able to go away or they might not be able to do this and that because there's going to be like restrictions. But I don't know, like, I think people are panicking a little bit as well. I'm not saying that they could be right, but at the same time, it's like, I don't I don't personally believe, I could be wrong, but I don't
Mm,
believe that you can force people to take a vaccine just so they can do stuff. Like I don't think you can stop people from doing things because they haven't got a vaccine. You know what I
mm.
mean?
Well,
I mean, obviously don't have COVID. Don't be spreading it, going outside and like doing all that.
just sneezing on
That's
everyone.
good. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. But
That's
yeah,
a bad idea.
yeah, it is. And that's the fear really. Like, oh yeah, they won't let you use public transport if you don't have this and that. I think I don't know, don't quote me on this. Maybe you can Google it later. But like, Eventbrite, they're like a a ticket selling organization.
Oh, I've heard of them.
Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're Bright or something like that.
yeah, I think they were the ones that were saying like, oh yeah, you need to have like a negative COVID test or to show that you have been vaccinated for you to attend any of the events. So it's just stuff like that that's gonna start happening. So in a way,
Maybe
people will be controlling whether you can or cannot attend.
maybe private companies, yeah. Maybe they can
Yeah.
do it. I guess if it's your own company, you have that choice. So maybe that might happen. I don't know. Because I don't think they're not gonna like let you into shops or something like that
No,
because of
no,
it.
not
I
into
think it's good.
shops.
Yeah.
That'll be weird.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get into Poundland and they're like, no,
Sorry.
no.
Just Poundland. You're like,
Yeah,
I just
it
need like one thing. Like, no, it's fine.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. All right. We're kind of reaching the end of the podcast. And what I like to do, obviously, was it was lovely. It was great having you on. Nessa. It was great having you on, Nessa.
Nessa.
Yes.
Not Vanny.
Not Van.
Or Van. Yeah.
Oh God, none of that.
No.
Yeah. So what I like to do at the end of the podcast is just ask what brings you joy, or say in this what's been bringing you joy during lockdown, or just whatever brings you joy in general in life.
Joy in life. My dogs.
How many do you have?
It's like two little Labradors. They're like gold and black. And very cute. And like just I miss them. I just want to because obviously I can't go near them, but they're very cute. And like just seeing them, I'm like, oh, they're so sweet. So that makes me happy. How about you?
All right, what makes me happy? I'm gonna try not to say what I said on the last podcast, which was just like learning or drawing or working out. I'm gonna say I already said cooking last time. I will say, okay, I'm gonna say having interesting conversations with people, like you, for example. I enjoyed this very much. I always have interesting conversations with my flatmates as well. So that has been bringing me joy as well. And that's it.
Random conversations with your flatmates.
Yeah, just random. We're always having random conversations, just like on the weirdest places as well, like on the stairs, or I guess in the kitchen as well. That's not so weird. But
you're there for like half an hour, like why am I where do you get to?
Right. Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you for coming on to the podcast. It was lovely having you.
That's all right. Yeah, it was good. Wasn't as scary as I thought.
Oh no. There's nothing scary about a podcast called Talking with T. No. None of that. But yeah, thank you. Thank you guys for listening as well. Hopefully you're having a great day, night, whatever time you're listening this to. And yeah, thank you. And goodbye. Say goodbye, Nessa.
Oh, bye.